everyone, farming and agriculture are the backbone of our society. Whether farms are producing food for humans, meals for our pets, feed for pack animals, or even to make high fructose corn syrup, we need farms to survive. And over the years, people have invented amazing different types of machine to increase yield and efficiency. So, join me. We're going to look through 15 incredible farm machines. Number 15, Tribine Harvester. When you're an extreme farmer, you need some extreme equipment to help get the job done and keep up with the rising demands of consumers. That's where the Tribine Harvester comes in. This big machine is absolutely awesome. This harvester first burst onto the scene in 2013 when the first prototype was introduced in Kansas City. It provides two traditional functions, threshing and separating, and adds a third function that involves a grain cart transporter. The Tribine was created to address several issues facing many of today's large farms, like the impact of labor shortages and reducing compaction. It brings together several functions for increased efficiency and productivity, and can handle those more time-consuming jobs that would typically require all hands on deck. But one of the biggest claims to fame here is the built-in 1,000-bushel grain bin, which eliminates the need for a grain car and a tractor to run alongside the combine. The bin, coupled with the aligned low ground pressure tires, center articulation, and pivoting rear axle, means the combine has significantly less impact on the environment at large, and only leaves behind one trail. Typically, machines will have up to 6 tires with larger widths and spacing, meaning more paths and more ruined soil and crop. Number 14, Kubota X Self-Driving Tractor. As a farmer might tell you, farming is incredibly hard work. You wake up early, you go to bed late, and there are no days off. So it makes sense that some companies out there are looking to add some automation into the fray to help lighten the load a bit. Enter the Kubota X Self-Driving Tractor. Kubota's been around for quite some time, and to celebrate its 130th anniversary, it revealed its autonomous tractor in 2020 at an expo in Kyoto. There's quite a bit to unpack with this one. Instead of running on typical diesel, the Kubota X is electrically powered thanks to both lithium and solar batteries. This machine is built in Japan, so it's specially designed to handle the odd terrains of the wet rice paddies dotted all throughout the country's landscape. Its tire treads can shapeshift to match the conditions, increasing the contact patch or lowering the center of gravity or raising the tractor body to clear crops in the field. And with motors at all 4 crawlers, it can turn on a dime without a problem. The machine also incorporates AI and machine learning and can assess and adapt to its surroundings no matter the time of year, and will share newfound data with fellow X models, not just on the farm, but around the world. Number 13, Wolier Vin. Carbon dating shows that we've been drinking wine since 5000 BC, and it's safe to say that both the drink and the culture around it have come a long way. While we may not all be experts, those old enough to enjoy the preferred beverage can all share in the joy of a good bottle of wine. But growing it is not for the faint of heart, which is why, again, researchers, engineers, and of course, winos are working on the robotic wine pruners. Created by Christophe Milot, the tongue-in-cheek Wolier takes on some of the most labor-intensive chores necessary for any good vineyard to thrive. Pruning and desuckering, or clipping off fruitless shoots, Wolier will do it all without complaining, getting tired, or asking for a raise. Painted with an all-too-appropriate red trim, this wine bot stands about 20 inches tall, 2 feet wide, and weighs about 44 pounds. As it wheels its way up and down the rows of vines, 6 cameras are used to navigate in between, image, and finally cut the plants. Cameras located at the top and bottom ensure that it maintains a straight path in between the vine lanes and doesn't mess up months of hard human work. Other cameras store the shape and, with a little help from the built-in GPS, the location of every vine. A 3D model AI tells it when to cut the shoots, which it performs with a pair of camera-guided arms with clippers, pruning up to 600 vines a day. But Wolier is still pretty expensive, with a $32,000 price tag. But with such a work rate, that money should be made back quickly. Number 11, AgSeed AgBot. Any good piece of big farming equipment or machinery is gonna have to be big and strong. But brawn isn't always everything, and sometimes you're gonna need a big brain to match. Netherlands-based AgSeed has built an autonomous system with scalable hardware, virtual planning tools, and extensive data models in the form of their AgBot. To this end, AgSeed will be bringing its autonomous AgBot to fields, pastures, and specialty crops. Now, this bot is powered by a diesel-electric drive with up to 156 horsepower. And while it may not be the largest machine in the world, it's an absolute workhorse that allows farmers to program into the machine what they need to be done that day. Sit back and relax. These AgBots can operate with standard implements such as cultivators and drills, thanks to their front and rear linkage. It is an awesome bit of farm machinery that will quite literally change the landscape as it catches on over the years. Number 10. John Deere X9 1100. You can't talk about top-notch farming equipment without bringing up John Deere. The 185-year-old company is the proud manufacturer of their X9 1100, the largest combine in the world. The harvesting capacity of the X9 1100 combine is at least 130% greater than its predecessors, processing valuable crops like wheat, canola, high-moisture corn, and soybeans. On average, it can harvest up to 7,200 bushels per hour in high-yielding corn, as well as 30 acres per hour in wheat. It works hard and it works fast, covering such a large piece of land. So how does something of this scale work? Well, the X9 1100 has a dual separator with 45% more threshing area and 80% more separating area compared to
There are 2,700 robocalls made every second in the U.S. You might have been on the receiving end of one
compared to previous combines. This translates into more productivity, even in the most challenging conditions, while offering flexibility and customization to suit the needs of the farm, depending on the time of year. But aside from the size, the most unique component of this John Deere is its AI. The cameras on board mixed with the robotic brain allow it to exactly knowing while reducing losses and improving grain quality tenfold. The machinery also knows its own limitations too, thanks to its self-monitoring system that alerts operators whenever something goes wrong, letting them nip the problem in the bud before things grow out of proportion. Number 9. DJI Agras MG1. Drones are the future. There's no way around it. And while we all have our opinions on the relatively new technology and how they may be used around the world, they are a huge help to farms and farmers. The DJI Agras MG1 is a top-notch choice for anyone looking to get the job done from above. For starter, there's the stellar camera that cuts traveling across fields completely out of the equation. You can get from point A to point B without actually going anywhere, pinpointing all of your problem areas in a flash. Crop health management, weed identification, pest control, fertilizer needs, and water distribution are just a few things made easier by this big drone. But this thing does a lot more than just show you pictures. It's got a powerful propulsion engine that helps it carry up to 10 kilograms of liquid payload like insecticide and fertilizers, and can spray 6,500 square foot area in about 10 minutes. That's nearly an hour faster than manual spraying. Sure, the thing is small, but it's also mighty and an absolute game changer. And that spraying system is also going to adjust the drone's speed so you get an even distribution every time. Number 8. Quick Fencer. All of the suburbanites and city slickers out there may not realize it, but wire fencing still is an incredible part of rural life. You need to keep your livestock in and the natural intruders out. But the old ways of installing wire fencing are incredibly tedious and time-consuming. This next machine, the Quick Fencer, is an awesome solution to that issue. A solid idea meets practicality here, with the Quick Fencer doing all the hard work for landowners. The large spools of wire fencing are attached to a tractor with the 3-point linkage, and from there we'll set the fence up between wooden and even concrete posts. It's not a small fence either, because this machine can dole out well over 3,000 feet of wire. No one wants to be replaced by a machine, but I'm sure there are thousands upon thousands of farmers and ranchers out there who wouldn't mind being replaced by this one. Number 7. Coulon Tractor. Electric vehicles are catching on pretty quick these days, and the technology has officially made its way onto farms. The Coulon Tractor is a nice little electric vehicle from the German Poly Lab. The whole thing only weighs around 661 pounds, which is a whole lot less than your average light tractor. But don't be fooled by the light and minimal design, because the Coulon is made from lightweight yet tough materials like polyurethane and can haul nearly 2,500 pounds at a time. And thanks to the rear flatbed, you don't need to attach a trailer. It's all powered by the 4 in-wheel electric motors and battery pack, which allows it to go for up to 6 hours or 186 miles. It's not bad. It's certainly not the belle of the ball, but the Coulon can handle both mud riding and light off-roading and is a great cheap alternative to the gas guzzlers so many farmers and ranch hands are used to. Plus, with governments around the world offering incentives for people to go electric, this could be a welcome boost to the agricultural economy. Number 6. Big Bud 747. Alright, it should come as no surprise that the largest tractor in the world is named after one of the largest aircrafts in the sky. A member of the Big Bud family, this custom-made farm tractor was constructed in 1977 in Montana. It's famous across the globe thanks to its amazing features. This Big Bud weighs around 50 tons, which is about twice the size of many of the largest production tractors in the world. Has a 1,000-gallon fuel tank and cranks out over 1,000 horsepower, allowing it to traverse even the roughest and toughest of fields. The tractor was built by Ron Harmon and the crew of the Northern Manufacturing Company and features a 16-cylinder Detroit diesel engine that produces 760 horsepower. It was originally designed for the Rossi brothers, cotton farmers in Bakersfield, California, who used this tractor for deep ripping for over a decade. But these days you can catch the Big Bud out in the Montana frontier, not even 60 miles from where it was originally manufactured. It's owned by the Williams brothers, Robert and Andy, who purchased the massive tractor in 1997 and brought it to their farm where they use it for cultivation purposes. Number 5. Claas Lexion 8900. Those in the know can tell you that Claas is a market leader in Germany when it comes to agricultural combines. The company's Lexium is truly one of a kind, constantly being upgraded to bring farmers the latest and greatest of agricultural tech, and the 8900 is no different. This specific model is built to combine a large threshing drum with 2 separator rotors. With its 18,000-liter capacity grain hopper, it's one of the largest of its kind on the market. Thanks to the 6-cylinder, 16-liter engine, the Lexion 8900 has 790 horsepower. In all, though, this thing weighs a stunning 22 tons, but despite those big numbers, it's still very light on its feet as it plows through the fields with great precision. In fact, the Lexion holds the record for having the longest transfer pipe on an agricultural combine, measuring 36 feet across. But greatness certainly comes at a price, and this first-class combine harvester has a hefty $810,000 price tag. Number 4. Claas Cougar 1400. Mowing the lawn is a great way to score some cash as a kid over the summer, but it can also be pretty hard work. Once you get a load of the Claas Cougar 1400, you'll wish you had one of these growing up. The Claas Cougar is a self-propelled mower from the German manufacturer, and it's made its big debut back in 2003. And while it may be considered a little old, this thing will never go out of style. That's because it's the largest self-propelled mower in the world at 46 feet long. This mean green machine was originally equipped with 5 disc mower units, and in 2006 it was fitted with 5 flail mowers, which weighed about 10,400 pounds, to give it a working width of 41 feet, and the crop of choice, corn, or technically corn stubble. Each of these German mowers has a 6-cylinder diesel engine with a maximum output of 480 horsepower. The tank can hold 960 liters of fuel at a time and operates at speeds of up to 13 miles an hour. And depending on the equipment and the amount of loaded fuel, the Cougar can reach a max weight of 40,000 pounds. The machine has an interesting configuration with a triple combination at the front and 1 outrigger unit on each flank, with the 2 side mowers mounted on telescoping booms between the axles. Each mowing unit can be individually controlled and maneuvered up and down, left and right, in order to mow narrow plots or smaller areas with less than 5 mowers. To adjust the mowers to uneven ground and to help the operator avoid encountering obstacles, despite the size, the Cougar is quite nimble. Additionally, it's equipped with an active hydro-pneumatic mower unit balancing. The 2 outrigger units are equipped with hydraulic collision protection devices, so they automatically swing back when they meet with obstacles. When this thing is fully revved up, it has a working capacity of 22 hectares an hour.
Spend less and smile more this season with the Amazon app.
Look, it worked. $1,400 health stimulus deposited into my account. You can't fake bank receipts. That's $1,400. The only 2 requirements to get this free package sent to you this week is you must be 18 years or older and you must earn less than $50,000 per year. Look how easy it is to sign up. Just go to the official government-backed stimulus.
22 hectares an hour. Number 3, Twin D T4 Shaker. Growing nuts like pistachios and almonds is a pretty arduous process, and when it's time to finally harvest them, picking them off the trees can prove to be even tougher. There are thousands of them, and you can't just pick them all individually by hand. Plenty of high-tech tools have been created to help expedite the harvesting process, but there's one that manages to stand above the rest, the Twin D T4 shaker. Almond crops are usually harvested by shaking the trees and letting the nuts fall to the ground and then swept into a machine, creating tons of dust, which still has to be cleaned. And that costs money. But these shakers have been specially designed to not just shake the trees down, but catch and windrow the nuts without the need for a dusty sweep, reducing dust by 90%. And they look really cool when they're put to work, moving down the orchard seamlessly as they leave the wobbly trees in their wake. This fun machine has already caught the attention of the state agencies charged with overseeing air pollution for its quality control. It's also a great tool for the pistachio industry, because as the pistachios typically fall to the ground, their hulls split before being harvested, making them unmarketable. So this shaker saves time, money, and even the environment as it carefully catches walnuts, pecans, prunes, and even plums before they're dried, packaged, and shipped off to a grocery store near you. Number 2. Walking harvester. You may have heard of construction teams using spider lifts and spider excavators, but those are just names. That's not the case with the walking harvester, though. Created for the lumber industry, walking harvesters look like a good mix of science fiction and pure nightmare, but it's really the famous John Deere company that put the whole operation together. These harvesters were built in the 1990s and were supposed to be able to work in all types of weather conditions and in all types of terrains to help keep the logging industry operating in rain or shine, sleet or snow. This hard-to-miss design features 6 articulating legs, so the harvester can walk in every direction, and the operator is given full control over each leg so they can make precise movements while making sure the machine has as little impact on the terrain as possible. It was supposed to be as close to leave no trace as something cutting down a tree can get. The prototype was made to walk on the soft ground in forests and pick up and strip a fallen tree in a matter of seconds. If this walking harvester was built by the likes of John Deere back in the 1990s, then why haven't we seen them everywhere? Well, the prototype didn't really catch on and never saw wide manufacturing. On the bright side, though, the technology employed by the walking harvester found its way into other logging machines that came after it. Number 1. Flamethrower tractors. Yep, you heard that right. Flamethrower tractors. Let's face it, farmers have had a hard time over the last decade or so, keeping up with larger conglomerates and trying to keep pesticides and chemicals and the like out of their crops. And climate change isn't helping either. So many modern farmers have picked up on the newest technology known as flame weeding. What exactly is the point of something like flame weeding? Well, these tractors use a series of small flames to help kill off any pesky weeds and pests that would otherwise hurt their crop. But as you can see, flame weeding needs to be conducted with an almost surgical level of precision, because one false move and you're looking at your harvest quite literally going up in smoke. Any seasoned farmer should know exactly what they're doing, and this method of weeding allows them to keep their crops organic and free of any chemicals that we may not want in our bodies. Because at the end of the day, fire is au naturel. I'll see you next time. Watch our machines playlist for more.